What a better way to end up the day besides Lucent versus Lightside. Jamada, how are you doing?
It's a very important game.
Why is that?
Lightside, but more so actually now for Lucent, as London United just picked up a win and are now even with them in the standings. Now, of course, if we take a look at the head-to-head, Lucent actually have beaten London twice, so they're still technically ahead of them, but they don't really want to be in some kind of weird position where, you know, they get leapfrogged. That's the important thing. So they have to keep that one game. So they would prefer to keep the one game gap going, but also so they can try and close the gap to make it out of the bottom two. And let's not forget, I believe their next game is Guap, or they play Guap in the final week, which is next week, Tuesday. Yep, there you go. So very, very important for them to try and pick up this win, move to 5-10, and then potentially tie Guap. So where do we go from here? Draft, Corki, Wukong. We're not going to see any more Corki, thank God. Renata taken away, as they don't want to spend it on that one. And I think, honestly, as well, speaking about why it's important for Lightside to win this, 3 out of 4 of the teams, I read that right, 3 out of 4 of the teams that were 8-6 today lost. If they can pick up this win, all of a sudden they have a 2-game buffer between 3 teams that were 1 game behind them today. Rate will still be trading them by 1 game, but still it is such a comfortable position to be in. And we've spoken about already the importance of being in top 2 for playoffs and why it matters so much. Even if you are going to go directly into natives, who, depending on how you look at it, natives might just smash them pretty hard in the best of. You'd still rather go into that top part of the bracket as opposed to the bottom half. As MBZ, it's just going to go for the B1 Nar. First pick, something that we've seen on occasion in some of the major regions. It is a very strong champion, but of course you have plenty of answers and plenty of other strong picks available on the rest of the Rift.
So finally, let's see if they're going to divert into the top lane as well or go into the jungle. Probably you can look into Kalista bot if you want to get that early. We saw the Aphelios as well. It works out. So it could be the counter to the top. It is the counter for the top DBL. Straight up Irelia. We saw that yesterday on Division 1. It is something.
It's a very, very powerful counter pick. Yeah, I think we're talking about that chasey game from X7. Yeah, Irelia can be a champion with the Yuumi on her back, but Yuumi is going to go towards the Lee Sin. Yuumi is available. We'll see whether or not we end up seeing it. But Aphelios still up and available. If Lightside want to go towards it, it's definitely a Moxox champion. I feel like it's one of the strongest on the patch in the AD role at the moment. Junglers still up and available as well. Things like Lilia, if they want to go towards it, though nerfed for Bambi. But things like Trundle, Kalista's still an option, of course, but a little less potent, it feels like, in lane without the Renat. Still plenty of options like the Amumu, perhaps, for Zvene, which we've seen in Pilot once already. And Lightside will only really be able to respond with one answer in the AD carry slot on Lucent's side. So Lightside would then be able to ban away 2 counters to that other half of the matchup. But we'll see what they want to actually pick up here. They want to go towards the Azir, and honestly, I kind of like it because Kurosh, player of the Azir, but not only that, Azir does really well into Kalista, provides a lot of zoning tools via the soldiers, and it kind of makes Kalista's job a lot harder. So picking up the Azir in the same rotation, honestly, I quite like. Even if Bambi's champion pool gets pinched here, you also then have a situation where you're almost always going to have mid lane prio in most matchups. There are a few exceptions to that, of course, but mid lane prio is always going to be a thing, and you're always going to have something to fall back on reliably in the scaling. But Lucent go towards the Ahri, so they're playing mid 2v2, trying to pick on the Azir. I'm not sure how much I agree or like the Ahri into the Azir sometimes, because I feel like if the Azir is playing it right, it can be a very difficult lane to pick on, especially if Bambi goes towards something like, I think Poppy is super high value and needs to be banned away, for example, for Lucent, because I think if Bambi gets his hands on that, all of a sudden you have 3 champions who are hyper mobile that you can shut down with Steadfast Presence, and then you're also going to have hard TC for diving the bottom lane. I think this pick just makes too much sense. We'll see whether or not Lucent, however, tunnel vision on those support bans they do, because they don't want to have Kalista to have the best possible pairing. And Lightside go towards the Ashe ban. I wonder if they'll also pick up on the Braum, whether or not they'll go towards perhaps the Aphelios, maybe as an option. Plenty of things. Zeri's already off the table, so that's something that Fuyu also plays. But I think already having the Ashe ban taken off the cards, the choice is really theirs. Misfortune, very clever call out as well, something that can do really well into the Kalista in lane, slowing her down with the Make It Rain. as Fuyu gives you the Pantheon hover. We'll see what they decide to go with. They see a Kalista at the very least, so expect Fuyu to pick up his AD, and Lil Pants get his counter pick on R5.
Xayah, that would be an interesting one, but we're going to deviate from that one. Still looking for the support or not, or even the AD carry. It's going to be the Draven. That is something I've missed. A head-on fight, Kalista versus Draven. It is spicy.
Yeah, Draven wins those. It's actually something you'll see banned away very commonly. If teams want to first pick Kalista, they'll ban away the Draven if they know the enemy AD carry plays it. Just because the matchups can be so miserable. I think Bambi needs to be playing on the Poppy in this game. And if he's not, I'm going to be a little bit upset. We saw the Rakan hover on the opposite side, and I think it's one of the few very strong engage tools up left. So they will take it. So, with Rakan set up, pretty decent. Rakan can be okay with trying to shut down some of these mobile champions. Can sort of struggle, but once you hit the level 6 mark, definitely very capable. Yeah. It just makes too much sense. It just does.
You know, if they don't pick the Poppy, I would see the Poppy on the other side as a support.
Yeah,
it works for
honestly,
both sides.
It works for both. I think you just have to take it away because Lil Pants would be the kind of player to take it. So I feel like Lucent not picking up very early. Definitely a big. Oh, they didn't do it. They last second swapped, and then we get Janna as well.
Man, give me the Corki with the shield bow.
I want the Corki with the shield.
Nah, if it's to suffer, might as well go all the way.
Yeah, I want the Corki with the shield bow back.
All the way.
I get the Corki with the shield bow back. Yeah,
bring that. Bring the Pantheon with Conqueror. Just make me suffer, man. Just
no Pantheon with Grasp, bro.
Oh my. That was
Yeah, Pantheon Grasp. It's good.
I need help. I need help.
Off the shop.
I need help. I need.
Hey, how about? Something just fell in my room.
Yeah, maybe your self-respect. Maybe.
I'm so spooked. Something just fell in my room.
That is Pantheon slapping you from the other side. Okay. She's like, don't you?
Let's talk about the drafts. You moved. It's a very, very. I don't know. Poppy made perfect sense.
Makes sense
in my mind. You allow Azir to be sole AP. Like it made sense on both sides. You allow Azir to be sole AP. You get a frontliner. You have consistent shutdown for the mobile champions of Lucent. And then for Lucent, the Janna. I kind of think it's okay. But like Poppy, you know, like
the accent.
Just being able to flash on top of Moxox and press W so he can't auto attack for almost 2 seconds.
Rakan can't engage. Gragas
can't engage. Gragas can't do anything. Even Azir struggles if you get on top of him. It's 5 champions.
You just put yourself on the face of Fuyu and you're like, nobody can go there.
They both hovered it. I don't know. Look, I think Janna also does have a fair amount of value.
We broke Chimara, guys.
Like, Janna does have a fair amount of value. In all fairness, you know what? I just realized I think that
Oh wait, let me. It changed the color of my headset. You see?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Wait, what is it now? Is it white?
Now it's changing colors.
Oh, it's changing colors. Cool.
Yeah. So now it's for yours. Yeah. It's always like this, by the way. I was just making fun of you because I grabbed my cell phone, so it doesn't make anything.
Oh, okay.
Hey, we're about to jump into the Summoner's Rift of the last game of the day on Division 2 NLC. Let's look into nothing spicy aside from the Gragas running as fast as he can with that Predator going for the bot lane or whatever he wants to shut down on those adoration stacks.
Yeah, and don't forget,
You're depressed,
Draven.
I know.
Draven has been buffed over the last couple of months, where those adoration stacks actually give you a lot more gold than they used to.
And they execute.
Shutting that down, and they execute on the ultimate. Let's not forget. So it makes Draven deal significantly more damage than sometimes you're anticipating. I recall a clip from a couple of days ago. I think it was from Korea, where Yeah, Draven had like 700 stacks or something stupid like that, or like 500. And the R just dealt, well, if you had 500 stacks, I think you figure out for yourself.
500 stacks, yeah.
Yeah.
500 damage.
And it just dealt so much damage. Definitely something that, if this game ends up being slow and Lightside aren't able to, you know, really pick on the Draven and he just kind of sits there stacks, you will see a humongous amount of XQ damage potentially come out if Fu is allowed to do it.
But that's on you if you allow that happen. That's totally on you. We've seen this happen multiple times, and your jungler has to go to the bot side. He has to apply that pressure. But now, do you apply the pressure on the bot side? Because your top lane may be suffering on that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, at least from early pathing, that's what it's going to be. Just trying to cover NBZ, because, yeah, DBL, honestly, in this matchup, I feel like we don't get to see DBL in too many, like, heavy mechanical matchups very frequently. So, I actually want to see how he does. Like, it is a very Irelia-favored matchup, of course. But the fact that we don't very commonly get to see him on these kind of skill expression champs, I feel, definitely something that's going to draw my attention over the course of the early laning phase in particular. But like you said, as this lane is a very high-pressure lane for Na to deal with, wouldn't be too surprised to see Bambi try and, you know, relieve him of some pressure very early on. Bambi's actually going to base, pick up Predator boots, and probably just sprint to top lane. So he does want to try and shut this down early. The issue is DBL, hard lane priority, going to go and get a ward on this blue buff. And we'll have full information of where Gragas will be.
It is discovered. I think he got a glimpse of him.
The ping, yeah, the ping came out, so they know.
Yeah, so they know Gragas is around that position. Blast Cone is going to be used to make sure they are aware it is going to be the Scuttle. Smite it away, thank you for the leash, and now just push him. Azir can go there, but I don't think they have any sort of kill pressure. It's just about annoying, slowing down the top side, and making sure that the Gnar can breathe a little bit more.
Yep, and you'll see MBZ is going to take full advantage of that, try and shove in the top lane. And we'll force DBL to use his teleport now. Yuta is here. I don't think MBZ, no, it's on a ward, but will they actually be able to connect with it? Stun jumped away from. Sonic Wave connects, but nothing that is worth committing on.
Well, you're committing to the bot side, and that's a lot of damage, but maybe the heal has been popped by the Janna, which means Ignite is still available. Exhaust as well. This could be a fight if they want to take it. The mana is not there for Mushok, so that could be an issue if they decide to dive in. But as soon as they see the Eye of the Storm, as soon as they see that little shield pop up, maybe they can commit to it. Oh, top lane.
Towards it. But Yuta's still
gonna
here.
Be a fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Yuta kind of has a rough idea that Bambi's gonna be around. Actually, I think he walked into that bush on the ward, and Bambi is just gonna help MBZ try and shove out. But with Yuta being here, they can just try and hold this wave. But problem is, it's already dead. And Lightside will complete their objective and get MBZ back to base safely.
No freeze. Comfortable for the Gnar, so it's good. 28 to 31, not a big lead, regardless of where you look into. As the Predator is online now, with Lucidity Boots already completed for the Gragas, you need that ability haste as much as possible. On the mid lane, it's a kind of a resident sleeper. It's a good change of pace, as everybody talks about mid lane, so these two guys just farming away. Maybe on level 6 we may see a little bit of action, but since both brought in TP, I don't see that's going to be that way. As BZ now level 5, DBL in danger. The stun is available. He jumps on top of it. What are you doing? This is not how the matchup goes.
I'm just gonna smile and acknowledge that happened.
But yeah,
I'll acknowledge it, but I'm not gonna really add too much to it. I think
that's good.
DBL just didn't want the wave to be frozen on him. And see, now our producers asked us if we want a replay, and I feel like he's gonna just hit the button.
He's gonna do it.
Way. Like, I'm gonna say no, and then he's gonna. We're getting a replay on it.
And for the first time, there you go.
So DBL just wants the wave shoved in. Like, he wants it to crash so it doesn't freeze. That's it, but DBL just doesn't respect that, like, Gnar can still do, like, damage, I guess.
Well,
gets run down.
He heard that first person. Now on the bot side, Draven stacks, Adoration stacks are stacking up in favor of Fuyu. Can we see how many does he have? It should be around like
yeah, I was gonna say 130, 150, about right.
Seems like good. 6 minutes in, that would be a good kill. So maybe Yuta could go into level 6 and maybe pay a visit to the bot side for Sven or even Mushox before they hit that level 6. And Sven is still at level 4 as we hit 7 minutes in, which means fight for the adult could be quite important. On the mid lane though, Kurosh getting bullied by the Azir, and well, it's a safe matchup.
Yep, it can be for the most part. DBL.
Ooh. Oh, flash for flash.
Really good flash. Yeah, good flash. It's actually kind of important that Fuyu's taken 2 plates here with Lil Pants in the bottom side. That lead is only going to slowly continue to accumulate, and Lightside haven't really done much to try and shut down this Draven, but one thing I'll also say is, despite all of the pressure that Fuyu and Lil Pants have put down in this 2v2, Yuta and Lucent as kind of a collective haven't put too much effort into trying to pick up this dragon. I think that's also one of the key things that you really want to try and do when you have a high pressure lane like this. Up 300 gold because of the plates, some of that CS difference as well. Lil Pants will get his base stopped though, which probably just means if he absolutely has to, he will just hold the wave for Fuyu as he returns. Fuyu has a Dirk and an Essence Reaver, so we'll see what he gets done with those items. See plenty of different builds on Dravens, to be honest. Something I was going to bring up as he had him based for a little while to show us some components, but spoke about Lucent not really putting too much effort into the dragon. They are putting a little bit of effort into picking up this Herald. Really can take down not really too much. That Lightside could have cross-mapped, and they'll pick that one up most lackadaisically. Go back to base, and we'll see whether or not Lucent try and break this tower, because it is at 3 plates, so it's definitely on the radar for them.
8 minutes in, and there's still some sort of advantage on the top side in favor of the Gnar, something I was not expecting. That was called in. It's BZ's Gnar. Maybe that's different. Maybe that could be the winning condition for Lightside. Lucent cannot afford to lose this one. If they do, it's almost saying we are going relegations. Is it secured? No, it's not. We still have at least 3 match days for both Division 2 and 1. Talking about 2 and 1 is going fast. It's Bambi going to be thrown the Rakan as well as the party starts, but Little Pants is the one taking the blame. The flash has been used, and Bambi is going to get taxed in. The stacks come in clean, and Fuyu gets way too much gold. They still want to fight this for some reason.
Oh no.
Rakan! What are you doing? You're not the Star Guardian, Rakan. The story doesn't make sense since flashes over the wall. Not of a sudden, even though you see a 2 and 2, look at the goal difference.
Don't press it. Don't press it.
He did it. He did it. That's the Essence Reaver. Straight up. Straight up.
He can buy his Essence Reaver. Oh no. This Draven is jacked and cracked. He's ready to go. As soon as he returns back to lane, expect Lucent to try and drop the Herald down there maybe. Could wait for their ultimates to come back up as well. Have a better chance at, securing a plate. So maybe Yuta goes to his top side camps first, clears top to bot, then looks for a play on the bottom side, or he just sprints it bot. Either way, seems like we have a bit of a 2v1 potentially breaking out, but DBL 2v3, 1v3. DBL's dead.
Well, it's not even a match, is it? DBL is trying his best to just fly across the minions, maybe try and farm, but there's not even a single blue minion, so he's forced to forfeit his life as we're going to look into the replay.
Yeah, all right, so Fuyu, Lil Pants, flash away. Lil Pants doesn't, but you can see the cast doesn't really get Fuyu into a position where he's vulnerable. Lil Pants never ends up flashing, but look at the execute damage on that R. And 643 plus 70 for just picking up the kill and a bunch of other random things. Yeah, Draven, so much gold picked up in that 1 kill alone, and you can see Svene just maybe trying to buy space for the rest of his team. Another kill picked up, 340, 90, 140 extra gold just for the sake of it. Oh, he could have Treasure Hunter. That could be where that extra gold's coming from. Because I know that passively Draven gets, I think it's 50 more gold per kill, or like 40 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Does he have Triumph instead of Presence as well? Actually, this is very something to track, because Triumph even gives you a bit of extra gold per takedown. Lethal Tempo, Presence. Yeah, Presence makes more sense. Yeah. But Bloodline, Last Stand. And then Taste of Blood and Treasure Hunter. Yeah, that's where he was getting all of the additional gold from. That makes sense now.
160.
An Essence Reaver in hand against Vamp Scepter. And oh, okay. Yeah, we've seen that once already before. I'm not really too surprised about it.
But what?
I'm just going at this point. Look. Today is backwards day, opposite day. Herald's gonna get dropped. Fu has to get in range though to be here for plates. We'll just about do so. 160 extra gold into the Draven's back pocket. Lucent doing a really good job of snowballing this Draven, but top side of the map, Irelia getting solo killed in the Gnar lane. Second time it's happened. This time around, it's just not really damaging the Gnar for so long. No ultimate as well, just out in the middle of the lane. Nowhere to really dash around, miss out on the stun. And NBZ connects with his ultimate. Good play from NBZ. DBL just looking a little bit lost in that matchup. Great nado.
Bot lane, it's going to be the shutdown versus Fuyu. Who's going to take it? Well, it's the Kalista. That's the only one that needed right now to try and make it even. But even as we look into this one, the Fox comes in from the mid lane but doesn't use the ultimate. So he keeps in the dashes. And meanwhile, well, that's the Kalista with the shutdown. This is really important for them.
Yeah, no, it really is. Especially just because Kalista in general really wants to get ahead in most of her lanes. But so far, it's really struggling to do so. Still, 1,000 gold down though, so it's going to be tough no matter how you look at it. But let's see how Moxox can get on. Of course, Moxox so many times for Lightside has been almost a bit of a pillar of safety, right? Lightside go towards him, play towards him. But right now, definitely very far behind on Fu. Still doesn't have his completed item, and Fu's getting closer and closer to what I imagine is going to be an Eclipse, given the fact that he's got a Dirk and a Vamp Scepter, but he still could just go towards something else.
Busy with these solo bolos on the top side is something that is giving light and hope to Lightside team. They need this. They know the Draven is stacking up. Yeah, okay, my bad. I talked about it, so obviously it has to happen the opposite. As the top lane now is a push against the turret. The Trinity Force is there, he dodges the stun. And this means that Bambi can just go in and push on the tower, but apparently they don't want the turret's already gone. And Bambi just needs to slow this one out. The minions are drinking for free for some reason, as DBL is now looking for the double. If he gets the stun, it doesn't matter because it's time to stop. And on the bot side, the turret goes down. A lot of weird things happening on the top of Shabata.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Draven, bottom side, picks up the tower. Lucent doing a really, really good job trying to keep Fuyu very, very relevant. My only concern is the mid lane matchup, to be honest with you. I think Teaser's got really, really unchecked, and that could certainly be problematic, but Lucent for now, I think, sit as comfortably as they can be, but I think the fact that NBZ is so far ahead in a matchup like this, where he shouldn't be, is a pretty big concern. I think if DBL can catch NBZ out, where, you know, he's just on a side lane, he just finished being in Mega Gnar, then you have, you know, a situation where you can still run him down. But replay the top side dive. You can see DBL just in a situation where, yeah, he's almost dead to rights from the beginning. Ultimate tried to get a lot of damage down onto NBZ, misses out on the flawless duet stun in 3, 2, 1, and just doesn't really have much to get back to, unfortunately. Then on the bottom side, tower goes down to Fuyu. Bit of an engage comes in, but it does eventually get disengaged, rather.
It's an interesting way to look into that. As he told us, Azir has been farming non-stop. Nobody is checking on him, which means when he pops off. And Ari is one of those champions. You can always make something happen on the game, but I feel like if you don't get a single source of a different outcome, outsource income, aside from your lane or even from kills, I feel she loses a little bit of power. Thankfully, Kurosh went for the Luden, so this means it's going to have a little bit more magical damage, which means Nightmare is happy somehow.
Yeah.
But it's a set Fox.
Yep. Every time an Ahri in competitive builds Ludens and a Dark Seal, Nightmare squeals and you can hear it ring around the world. True fact.
Never heard it, so I need to get a sample of what sound it would be.
I'm not really good at impressions like that. So
No, you made sure to say to everyone on the green room you were really good at impressions. You spent an entire afternoon trying to make champion sounds, so...
That's a great point.
Oh, hello. Yeah, you're not dodging that one. DBL's not dodging this one as well, as the explosive barrel is there. And Gemado, you can continue with your topic.
Okay. Can we take a look at the goal? So, if you just remove the top side difference, this game looks okay for Lucent. But when you re-add it, yeah, it looks pretty rough. Herald's going to get dropped here, and they're just going to continue to facilitate MBC hit this side lane matchup. For reference, this is 100% a matchup, which I don't think I've even seen Gnar competitively win. So, definitely a first today. Doesn't mean I always see the Irelia team win. It just means I always see the Gnar side lose the lane. First time I've seen it win. Irelia still one of those kind of weird champions that will just stat check you for no reason and kind of just win. So you never know. If Mbz oversteps, maybe there's a window, but as you can see right now, he is super comfortable. Doesn't really have to worry about too much, as there's loads of pings coming down. Teleport towards Fuyu and Little Pants. Flash is available, worst case, and it's going to come in.
It's about clearing those waves right now. 18 minutes in, 7-2. Lucent only getting access to 2 kills. It wasn't a Draven, so that's the only good news on this sort of game. As they know they need to win versus Lightside, but they're facing a team that is looking to not secure, but hold their top 2 seed on Division 2 right now in Summer Split 2022, as Bambi is now running with the Predator, fancying some sort of body slam. But it doesn't seem like he's going to connect his belly with anyone. 1 minute and 33 seconds for what will be, for the first time today, a Cloud Soul. This is actually a Cloud Soul, everybody.
Yeah. This is our first Cloud Soul of the day.
Of the day, yes. I know you really enjoy Cloud Soul, but yeah, this is our first.
No, don't.
Irony is a foreign language to you,
don't put words in my mouth.
Okay, you're not native on phone.
And it's
irony.
Archer. It's sarcasm.
Damn, I'm not native.
You tried. It's okay.
This is ironic, I guess. Damn.
There you go.
19 minutes in. Oh boy, yeah. Just like my ranks. I pulled them down. 7-2 at this point, 2 dragons, and in 40 seconds we might get another one in favor of Lucent if they're capable of securing that vision around the map. And just as you said before, Azir was not checked until now. So this could be an opportunity to not only showcase what Sis has been working forward to, but also to see what he can do on that bird. Now, DBL, you told us she can always stack check you out of a sudden. So maybe on the fight. Maybe on the fight, if nobody's looking into you, maybe that will be it.
Yeah, potentially. But I also want to say that Fuyu has 2.5 items. He's a pretty strong boy. If he can go unchecked in a fight, he'll definitely take over, as I think an engage is happening in the mid lane. It looks a bit weird. They were definitely looking towards Fuyu at the very least, because Predator Boots got propped, but Lightside will pick up that dragon. And there you go. Cask goes wide, sidestep.
This allowed Kurosh to at least push in the top side. This is a T2 that has been deleted, and she's getting gold resources from outside of her lane. She went for the side lane, got a completely lonely gold for the T2. That is a lot of local gold for the Yari, and giving it a boost. It's something that they need. They need to put the Yari and the Draven in front.
Definitely do. Kurosh has to be fairly close to a Shadow Flame. I think he's been out on the map for a little while. I think once he hits that item spike, he's going to do a whole bunch of damage.
There you go. Nightmare is happy.
Yeah, Nightmare is happy.
We still don't know what sound he makes, but yeah.
I'm not gonna try.
Almost baited you. Almost.
Almost. I was like half a second away from doing it too.
Yeah, maybe if I give you a kebab, you'll think about that. But let's talk about that in the future, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, if you want, you know.
Out of a sudden, you accept the deal, don't you?
What if, you know, Sunday, during the day.
This Sunday?
Yeah.
You coming in on Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm coming in earlier, but Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah, do it on Sunday.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Utah?
He's alright.
And ever since we saw this Lucent, and even though it worked at the beginning of the game, it seems like it has slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it has. A lot of that has to do with Lightside having such a hard-winning side lane matchup. I think the fact that Lucent have such a strong sort of disengage in the mid. Oh my god, that kick!
That was a kick, and Sis is in issues right now. Look at Kudosh. He goes away from the not ultimate. DBL goes to the backline as one of the biggest that I've ever seen in terms of range, but not in terms of accuracy. As he goes to the backline, trying to get the burn, but it seems the burn is the one is way too strong. Fuyu looking for the execute, but it's just not enough. Utah is going to celebrate with a kill versus the enemy jungler. 20 minutes in, that is better.
That was such a sick kick from Utah, and the only reason why that isn't worse than it could have been for Lightside is the fact that Fuyu didn't cash in. But maybe that in itself is a pretty terrible thing to think about, because now he gets to stack even more. That cash out is going to be huge. Lucent, they're on the Baron. Health bars are going a bit low. Kurosh is tanking a bit.
Maybe Fuyu should be on the front. Maybe Fuyu should be there. They need to take this one down. Kudosh is on the backside of the bed, and then it's going to be a lot of damage. Tis flies in, but the fly is not enough. The Comet, the shield, the other soldier, the enemies! He burns to death. We got a well-cooked fox.
Okay, well, yeah, at the very least get something out of that. We'll get a look at the replay of this kick, because we panned away for half a second. And Utah just finds his man. Look at this. I mean, seems like good stuff. Teases just a little bit too slow to step back. Wanted to get that tower going for a little bit of safety, I guess. Stopwatch saves a lot of time. Fuyu steps really far back because he doesn't want to get Naro'd. DBL on the backline takes down Teases. And actually, one thing I want to check on is, did DBL Q Svene by accident a second time when he queued onto Moxox? Because you'll see, he goes onto him. Utah's chasing down Bambi on the bottom side. Q auto. Oh, he Qs Svene. And that stops him from potentially taking down Moxox, to be honest with you. Goes down himself for it. Really unfortunate, but oh wow, the replay. That's an Emperor's Divide and a teleport coming in deep.
Teleport comes in deep. BZ is still not in rage, which means Bambi is the one tanking the front line. And on the back line, it's Fuyu. And the purchase DBL. That is the perfect ultimate on the backside. And Draven is just cashing in. It's a double. It's a triple. The quadra could be that as well. As he goes golden out of nowhere. Says dies to the quadra. Where's the ultimate? There's the ultimate. This could have been a penta. DBL, you got this. You can do it. You can actually do it.
Oh.
You got this. You got this. It's a clean ace. It's the opposite day.
They could end the game. It really is opposite day. Almost every single team with the lower score today has won. The only exception to this rule has been teams that are tied and natives. What an exciting
day. Going down way too fast. The charm is going to land on Bambi. Bambi is in jeopardy. Bambi is in trouble. Bambi is going down. It's going to be Fuyu, the unstoppable. The last turret is going to fall. BZ is there. I believe is more than enough to scare them away. Moshox was going to respond as well. They need to play this one safe.
They have to go get the dragon, so they pick up Soul, but I'm very scared to ask. Reed, hit the X key. Okay.
4,000.
4.4 in a comp game? That's crazy. We need to know how much he cashed in on, because he hadn't cashed in over 10 minutes, I think.
Aye.
That's crazy.
It's
He just spent it all, like almost perfectly. 4.3k spent. And look at this flank from DB, the 720. And a whole bunch more as well off that first kill. And the second
1,000.
one. Yeah, shut down, I believe. Something like that. It's just so much gold going over into Fuyu's back pocket, and he even picks up the quadra for himself. 348 stacks accumulated as well a bit.
Show us the items. Show us the items.
He got 2.7k from that fight alone.
He
finished up his Lord Dom
build.
and just built an IE for fun. Okay. Well.
Not as Randuin Element, you know?
Yeah, but Draven has a Lord Doms and like 12 extra armor pen.
I was being, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Not gonna even say it, or else I...
Wait, whoa. What? Lightside got the dragon?
No, it was Lucent. They already had a dragon.
Oh, I thought Lucent.
My man is not even paying attention to you guys. I'm kidding.
No, I'm not. No, you're right.
1200. That is a slap of the underworld.
I'm sure that if he right-clicks Moxox, he won't just immediately proc shield, bro.
That's
sarcasm, by the way, because he probably might.
No, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
If he crits with Essence Reaver up, I think he might. With Janna Shield to give the extra AD, I actually think Moxox might just
instantly proc that.
Instantly lose his shield bow. I don't think he would
die. He would not.
Die is a little bit.
The amount of damage he can deal is 1100 because of armor. And she has more than 1100, but that's
the real question is how much AD does Janna give when he shields?
There you go. 1200 on minions, so on champions, that's going to be a little bit smaller.
Yeah, and Janna also gives him 63 AD.
Yeah.
At shield, so that is a lot of stats.
I want to see it. It's about the soldiers. It's about setting up a front line for the team. Ziz, if there was ever a moment for you to shine, this is it. Moshox cannot go into the front line. It has to be the untargetable soldiers to deal with Fuyu, so it cannot attack them. That's the only way to deal with it. DBL is on the sidelines pushing in as well. He has teleport available. Baron is going to respawn in 30 seconds. So I believe he's going back, buying a Dev's Dance, going to the bot lane, try and push in, use a teleport to join the fray if needed. How can they reply? Nah, Jamada, you're the analyst. You're the world famous analyst right now. I want to understand how Lightside can come back from this one. Guide me.
The world famous thing isn't going to get any better, is it? I can tell.
I'm going to step this over as we go along, man.
I know.
I'll see you on Worlds, but yeah.
It looks like they're not going to contest this Baron. And honestly, I get it. Totally get it. I think it's definitely the correct call. If you fight right now, I think Fuyu just one-shots your whole team. To be honest, like Teasers is about to pick up his death cap at the very least, so that's a pretty huge spike to play around and work with. But again, you know, 4am Draven, not too much in terms of, you know, shutting him down throughout this entire of the game. Yes, they have the tools to do it, but they haven't really been landing, connecting them.
And he has a stopwatch.
And he has a stopwatch if he feels like it's absolutely necessary. With the flash and the exhaust, he is as safe as it gets. And he has Janna on top of all of that.
Panic. That's all they can see. Panic all across the board. Can you even fight this one? Can you even come back? You're the team that is looking for the second seed of NLC Division 2. If you want to be on playoffs, if you want to fight versus natives, if you want to step into the big stage of NLC Division 1, you have to be able to do this. As I just saw, a 1400 damage critical strike.
Yep, Draven is looking meaty at the moment. And if he finds any damage onto those squishies, he's just gonna blow up Moxox, he's gonna blow up Teasers. Even with the Zhonya's, that much armor isn't really enough to stop how much damage is coming through. And now, Lucent, they're trying to pick up on some of these towers on the side lanes. Inhibitor in the mid lane. They really need to get something done with this Baron. 90 seconds still left. Lightside, don't forget, no Nexus towers.
Nope.
They lose a fight here, the game is over.
The game will be over and it will be Lucent taking them out. The charm goes wide. BZ is not charmable right now. He's focused on his mission. Get the Mega Gnar, get the engage, get Fuyu. Even though Fuyu has flash and exhaust available, that it will not be enough if BZ gets the perfect engage and follow-up from Sven alongside with Bambi. It has to be perfect. It has to be Lightside. While Lucent are looking to finish this one. Run away from relegations. It's so important for them. They get one. It's the jungler. It's Yuta. He's running away, kicks away. And then all of a sudden, DBL is there to support this one. Where is Fuyu? He sends the ultimate, and he gets the first one. He jumps over the soldiers. The soldiers cannot stop the saving carry. And he's just stacking on those kills. Not the triple, only the double because DBL is going to get another one. Marshox is alone. They kill the Draven. But with no avail, because in the end of the day, it is a team, it is Lucent, it is the game they needed to fight to run away from relegations.
Lucent, when it matters the most, finally pick up another big win when everybody who was towards the bottom end of the table picked up wins today. So did they. They did not go against that trend. And they find themselves their 5th win of the split. In a situation where London, yes, they had the head-to-head with them, but keeping that game buffer just to ensure no shenanigans go down. That is the key thing. Super important. And for Lightside, no longer sole possession of second place. Tied up with, I believe it's just Rate for now because Domino, Rising Dawn, Unique, they all lost. But man, what an incredible game for Lucent in terms of even maybe potentially looking at trying to get out of relegations. That is how important this win is. They go against Rate on Thursday. That's going to be a tough matchup. But then 2 big games, Guap, Munster. These aren't the teams that are necessarily playing up towards the top end of the playoffs. These are the teams right in the mixer, kind of right above them. I'm not saying they can make playoffs. Really, I think chances are it's as good as like mathematically locked out. Because I think looking at some of the head-to-heads against a lot of these teams down there, they've lost 2 games. So it's going to look pretty unlikely for it to happen. But man, in terms of avoiding that bottom 2, massive step in the right direction for Lucent.
That would have to be an amazing run, but nonetheless, they won versus the team that was in second seed, undisputed, and out of a sudden, it's no longer there. So playoffs is, well, it got a little bit more interesting right now as we're going to toss it to a break before we head on to the interviews with the players to understand what happened, what could have been, and what it is the future. I'll see you soon.